Welcome to the start of the bowling season and of course the first show of Bowling Showcase. This is the only show that brings you everything bowling from the bowling capital of the world, Metro Detroit. I'm your host Mark Martin and I'm back for another season, even though I've retired as the Metro Detroit USBC Association Manager. This is our 8th season of Bowling Showcase and we're here to bring you all the action of the 22-23 season. Now to start the season, we'll be introducing you to 5 newly elected members of the Detroit Bowling Hall of Fame, one of the most prestigious and oldest traditions in the bowling capital of the world. We'll also be letting you know about this year's upcoming tournament schedule and what to look forward to with this season of Bowling Showcase. Now it's a tremendous honor to be inducted into the Detroit Bowling Hall of Fame and recognized by one's bowling peers for an outstanding career in bowling. This year's class welcomes 5 new members to the ranks, and it's our privilege to introduce to you each new member and offer just a small peek into their illustrious bowling lives. So without further delay, let's meet the first 2 members of the Hall of Fame, women's category inductees Sonia Butler and Kim Maddie, now on Bowling Showcase. Sonia Butler has been named to the Women's All-City team 8 times since 2001. First team honors were earned in 2012, 2015, 2016. She was team captain in 2017 and 2018. Second team honors were won in 2001, 2007, and 2019. She's won 4 tournament titles since 2015. The first one, the Michigan State Singles, was won in 2015. Her second state title is in the 2018 team event. Butler's 2 other titles were won in the Metro Detroit USBC Women's City Championship doubles in 2016 and 2018. Butler has a significant record in league play. She has bowled 16 300 games along with 6 800 series throughout her career. In both the 2016-17 and 2017-18 seasons, Butler bowled her highest average, 229 in each.
Just because of my family did it and kind of just got into it, and then my grandparents did it, and then my parents did it, and they got us into it. Yeah, I actually got drugged in when I was like a 3-week-old baby. My parents would bring me in, get me used to it, but I got to know more of it when I was 3, and then when I started when I was 5, and really got into it and really just enjoyed it and haven't stopped since. My dad made it a point to not put me in bumpers. He was going to teach me without the bumpers. He goes, if you throw it in the gutter, then it is what it is. You just learn off of it. And we taught off of it. We learned off of that and went on from there. My very first city tournament, I think it was, I was bowling in the Travel League, and Randy Tambourine had put us in the city tournament. It was at Sunnybrook, and my grandmother had just passed away a couple months prior. And I went out and bowled, and I happened to be on the same pair as my brother, and he bowled for De La Salle at the time, and they put us on the same pair. Next thing I know, I go out and shoot my first 300. Frame by frame, every shot, what I can recall, because I was 16 at the time, was perfect. The 10th frame comes around. I believe my first 2 were Brooklyn, because you know how the nerves get to you. And the last ball, I believe, was a perfect strike, and it was all said and done. But I was the first 300 that day, but the second one going for it. Because that day we ended up having, I believe, 2 299s, and I think it was 3 300s that day, all from this travel league. When Sunnybrook closed, Randy was gracious enough to let me go cut out a couple pieces from the lane that I had shot it on, and my grandfather made me a plaque with the 2 lanes on it. And it's in my room to this day, and it's a memory from him, you know, so I will treasure that day as long as I live. My grandfather and I always had this thing on Thursdays where he'd go bowl in the morning, he'd call me at night and say, hey, I shot this, I'd bowl Thursday night, it's later, so I'd call him Friday and say, hey, I shot this. And we had this competition thing, for many years until he had passed away. So it's kind of one of those things that you miss and you remember, and oh my God, it's an honor. This has been a dream of mine since I was a little kid. When I found out, when I got the email, I started crying because it had been that much of an honor. And like I said, I wanted to call my grandfather right away and I couldn't. And that's why I started crying, which I'm starting to do now. It was a big dream of mine. And knowing that I'm in it made me feel like, oh my God, I did it. I did what I wanted to do. I did the accomplishments I wanted to do. Is there more for me to do? 100%. But I did what I came out and set myself to do. And it's a dream come true. But I plan on doing it as long as I can do it. If I can do it as long as my grandparents did, and they did it till they were in their 80s, I will do that as long as I can. And I hope to God I can do it that long. It's just a sport I love. Hi, I'm Kim Maddie, 2022 Detroit Bowling Hall of Famer.
Congratulations to Sonia and Kim, two of the newest members of the Detroit Bowling Hall of Fame. Now it's time for a little break. Stick around, we'll be right back with more Bowling Showcase. The Michigan State USBC provides tournament competition and recognition for men, women, and youth bowlers in Michigan. Tournaments include Open, Women's, and Youth Championships. Also Youth Masters, Queens, Masters, and Senior Masters. Recognition includes first-time 300 games and 800 series for all members and 600 and 700 club memberships for women. Visit MichiganStateUSBC.com for entry blanks and more information on the Michigan State USBC.
1-800-LAWYERS is the number to call if you've been injured on the job. That's 1-800-LAWYERS. Don't wait. If you need workers' compensation benefits, call 1-800-LAWYERS. That's 1-800-LAWYERS. Call 1-800-LAWYERS now.
Michigan State USBC, your source for everything bowling in the bowling capital of the world. We are the largest local affiliate of the United States Bowling Congress with over 30,000 members of all ages. We support USBC certified league competition and organize USBC certified tournament competition. We provide 23 tournaments for all members of our association, including men, women, youth, seniors, scratch, and handicap competition. The top reasons for belonging to the Metro Detroit USBC are having your average recognized, bonding of league funds, rules of the game, assistance in resolving league issues, equipment standards of the game, charities, and awards. Visit us at mdusbc.com. Welcome back. I know you're ready to fire up your competitive spirit and get back to the lanes. Here's all of this season's MD USBC tournament information so you can join in and bowl against the best. The MD USBC tournament season begins in earnest in October. The Women's Men's Series Mixed Baker Doubles is set for October 9th at Thunderbolt Lanes in Allen Park. The cost is only $90 per team and is a perfect tune-up for the bowling season and the Women's and Men's Series. Each team consists of one male and one female bowler. Grab a partner and come and see how you stack up against others. 10 Pins of Trenton will host the MD USBC Queens on October 15th. 6 games of qualifying will determine who qualifies for the single game, single elimination match play to determine the champion. The cost is only $55 with a first prize of $1,000 and a paid entry into the Michigan Queens awaiting the winner. Jenna Pollock is the defending champion. The Michigan State USBC Senior Masters is October 22nd and 23rd at M66 Bowl in Battle Creek. For only a $120 entry fee, with all of it going into the prize fund, how can you not participate? If you're 50 and over, you qualify to see how you measure up against others in your age group. The Michigan State USBC Masters takes place October 29th and 30th at M66 Bowl in Battle Creek. The entry fee is $150, and the entire entry fee goes into the prize fund. Here's a chance to see how you stack up against the best bowlers in the state of Michigan. The MDUSBC Youth Championship has a run of 7 Sundays beginning October 30th. This always fun-filled event allows our youth members to enjoy tournament competition. The entry fee is only $15 per person per event, with scholarship points up for grabs. The Youth Championship will be held at Mary Bowl in Livonia. Why not get your kids out of the house, be active, and try their hand at winning scholarship points? The MDUSBC Masters will take place on the weekend of November 5th and 6th at Plaza Lanes in Plymouth. Ed Burbo is the defending champion in this premier event. The cost is $170 with a first prize of $2,500 based on 120 entries. Bring your A game to Plaza Lanes and compete against the best MDUSBC has to offer. The MDUSBC Women's and Men's Series kicks off on November 13th at Century Bowl in Waterford. This is the first of 5 scratch events designed for bowlers to cut their teeth on keen competition. Robin Orlikowski was last season's Cup champion for the women and Corey Miller for the men. Here's your chance, ladies and gentlemen, to see how you stack up. Call the MDUSBC office at 248-443-2695, extension 105, for more information or to enter, or visit mdusbc.com. Now it's time to meet 2 more of this year's Hall of Fame inductees. Here's men's inductee Corey Miller and veteran Mike Lucente.
Wow, you know, it's funny as I think about it. I guess the wins kind of fade away, and the close losses really are the ones that stay with me. As it is, it makes me burn inside and end up working hard. My first home, I was 5-6 years old, and we lived right behind the Palace Bowling Center, and they had the upstairs balcony, and my mother worked 2 jobs. She worked at Roma Hall, and then she worked as a coat check lady for there. So they would get me a Coke and a bag of chips, and I'd go up in the balcony, and all my uncles, we had a big family. My mother's side was 13, my father's side was 9, we're all bowling. So I got to sit up there and watch them bowl and just kind of, you know, really get the feel of it. We didn't have internet, we didn't have hardly TV, to be honest with you, back then. So bowling was the thing to do, and I could go out the back door and I could be there and bowl. Actually, I bowled my first game at Connor Lanes, and I still remember the ball I used. It was a black and yellow speckled ball. The number on it was 13, and my score was 17. We had no bumpers back then. So I still remember that. So I would bowl whenever I could and just took a liking to the game. And some people there really took a shine to me. And my first league was the Pepsi League, and I was so proud that I got that Pepsi shirt with the cool logo, the red, white, and blue, trimmed in gold. It was a white shirt. I loved that shirt. I was about 6 years old. After I graduated high school, I didn't know what I was going to do, and Jeff Suma and I kind of grew up together bowling the travel leagues, Coca-Cola Travel on the east side. And I was coaching football at St. Jude. I just graduated from high school, and we had a weekend off. Next thing I know, Jeff come and picked me up in a car. We were off to Pennsylvania. We were bowling Monroeville doubles, and we bowled all day and half the night. And about the time we got to midnight, Jeff was finally ready to bowl. The rest of us were all wore out. So it was pretty cool. I finished second in that tournament, Hal Stokes and I, and that was kind of a fond memory and a great start to my bowling. It was tournaments that really fired me up and got me excited about bowling. You know, league bowling, get my first shirt with my name on it, bowling in the All-Stars here in the arena, and also traveling was pretty special because a lot of the guys from the east side would practice at Chandler Lanes on Sunday morning. I'd be working the front desk, and it would be Rocky Graziani, Don Ray, Doc Grimaldi, Hank Gavi, and I would watch them guys bowl, and I was just in awe. So when I finally got that shirt and got that chance to bowl in the All-Stars, that was special. It's a great big smile, number one. Emotionally, it's very rewarding, and a culmination of all my times in the bowling center. Early morning practices, traveling to tournaments, struggling, learning, bowling with some great bowlers that taught me a lot along the way. And then seeing all the great bowlers that I competed with and against that were Hall of Famers already, to join them and be a part of the Detroit Bowling Hall of Fame is amazing and very special, very emotional. I probably owe my competitive bowling to Jeff Suma, and I'd like to let him know that he's always been my captain, will always be my captain, and he's always believed in me. So when there was a coin flip to who was going to bowl an event, a lot of times he would lean my way. So as I think about it, I owe him a lot. I would say that it'll be maybe the epitaph of my life when you really look at it, because I've been involved from the beginning. Again, as a worker, as a manager, as an owner, and as a player. And being a player has always been the driving force behind all of that, to be honest with you, because I think we all grew up wanting to be the baseball player, the football player, and I played football in high school, and I did well, but I was too small, wasn't fast enough to go to college. But bowling didn't stop me. Bowling gave me an avenue where I could go out and compete with the best, and actually earn some money at it. And you know, when we bowled those major tournaments and I got my share, it was pretty special, and that's the way I would look at my career. Hi, I'm Mike Luceni, and I am now a member of the Detroit Bowling Hall of Fame. Outstanding special honor.
When I called my dad and told him I got in the Hall of Fame, all he can keep saying is, whoever would have thought when we started you at 3, you would have gone this far and done as much as you did. You know, it's like anything else. You know, you still learn every day, and you still fall in love with the sport every time you bowl. Whether you bowl good or bad, you learn from it, and you still just keep falling in love with the sport more and more. I started when I was 3. My whole family bowled. They were just recreational bowlers. But they started me when I was 3. They took me, just basically started open play, and then they put me in my first league, and just never looked back. Back then I thought I was slick, and Mom, I'm sick, I can't go to school today, but I can go with you to the bowling alley. Didn't always fly. But they would usually put me on the lanes when they were bowling, just to keep me out of trouble. And my grandparents bowled, my uncles bowled, my brother bowled, but they were all recreational. None of them took it as far as I did. I would say probably right around the teenage years is when I started to get a little bit more serious and wanted to bowl as much as I could, whether it was going out bowling rock and bowl on Friday night or just practicing whenever I could. I'd say about 13, 14 is where it really started to get important. You know, honestly, it's gonna sound cheesy, but my fondest memory is meeting my wife. I was down here about a year. Actually, the first year I was down here is when I met my wife. She bowls. She came up to watch a friend bowl one night, and the rest is history. The next fondest memory is winning the Detroit Masters. Oh, it was unbelievable. A couple years prior, I finished second at Century. That loss was hard. I'd worked really hard to get to the finals. Just ran out of gas. That was my toughest loss even to this day. So to come back a couple years later and beat the guys, the Hall of Famers that I beat, it was unbelievable. Words cannot describe what that tournament win actually meant to me. Beyond excited, never thought it would happen. I am my worst critic when it comes to the sport, and to see that people think so highly of my ability and what I've done in this sport, I can't put it into words. It's a very good feeling, and like I said, it hasn't sunk in yet. So I'm hoping before the banquet it does sink in. I don't want to cry at the banquet. So I'm joking with a lot of guys that they've got 9 years until I can bowl the SSO and go out on the senior tour. That is basically what I'm going to keep bowling the Masters. I'm going to keep trying to earn all city berths, every year. I heard a rumor that the USBC Masters is coming to town. If that's the case, I will definitely be bowling that. I haven't done anything on that level since 2012, but locally wise, I'm just going to keep trying to give them as much hell as I can every time I step on the approach. Hi, I'm Corey Miller. I am a member of the 2022 Metro Detroit USBC Hall of Fame.
Congratulations, Corey and Mike. Time to take another quick break, but don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more Bowling Showcase. The Michigan State USBC provides tournament competition and recognition for men, women, and youth bowlers in Michigan. Tournaments include Open, Women's, and Youth Championships. Also Youth Masters, Queens, Masters, and Senior Masters. Recognition includes first-time 300 games and 800 series for all members and 600 and 700 club memberships for women. Visit MichiganStateUSBC.com for entry blanks and more information on the Michigan State USBC.
1-800-LAWYERS is the number to call if you've been injured on the job. That's 1-800-LAWYERS. Don't wait. If you need workers' compensation benefits, call 1-800-LAWYERS. That's 1-800-LAWYERS. Call 1-800-LAWYERS now.
Michigan State USBC, your source for everything bowling in the bowling capital of the world. We are the largest local affiliate of the United States Bowling Congress with over 30,000 members of all ages. We support USBC certified league competition and organize USBC certified tournament competition. We provide 23 tournaments for all members of our association, including men, women, youth, seniors, scratch, and handicap competition. The top reasons for belonging to the Metro Detroit USBC are having your average recognized, bonding of league funds, rules of the game, assistance in resolving league issues, equipment standards of the game, charities, and awards. Visit us at mdusbc.com. Welcome back. Now it's time to introduce you to the last, but certainly not least, of this year's 5 new Hall of Fame inductees, Meritorious Service Category inductee Ann Block. Ann Block is being honored for her meritorious service to the sport of bowling. She has dedicated over 20 years of service to the bowlers of Metro Detroit and Michigan State USBC associations. In addition, she's bowled over 35 years in national, state, and city tournaments. Her extensive record of service includes significant roles as a director, officer, committee member, bowling writer, and leader of many bowling clubs, including youth. Block's current roles include First Vice President of the Michigan State USBC, Chair of the Michigan State USBC Finance and Hall of Fame Committees. She's also been a director and served on the following Metro Detroit USBC committees: Chairman of the Youth Committee, Bowl for the Cure, Publicity, Awards, and has been a delegate to many national conventions. 1997-98 Greater Detroit YABA Coach of the Year, 2005 Howard McCullough Memorial Award, 2006 Detroit Women's Bowling Association Woman of the Year, and the 2014 Thomas McKay Award. Congratulations to Ann and all of this year's Hall of Fame inductees. Well, we've almost come to the end of this first episode of the new season. But before we say goodbye, I'd like to tell you a little bit about this year's exciting season of Bowling Showcase. Starting next week, we'll replay some of our best shows from last year. This year we'll have 8 Youth Challenge teams competing and 16 Adult Challenge teams. Now we know that competition is what you crave, and we're satisfying your craving. We'll continue our magazine shows, which will take a deep dive into one event along with short clips of other events. We'll be bringing you all the action all season long. I hope you continue to watch and support the only show bringing Detroit bowling back to television, thanks to our sponsors and bowling centers. Now remember, you can connect with Bowling Showcase on Facebook, YouTube, or drop us a message at BowlingShowcase@gmail.com. I'm your host, Mark Martin. Remember to keep your eyes on the spot, and I'll see you next time on Bowling Showcase.